In the heart of Ibadan, 2023, in the bustling suburb of Apata, lived an 18-year-old student named Lola. Vibrant and ambitious, she was studying business administration at the University of Ibadan, eager to carve out her path in a world that often seemed set against her. Her days were filled with lectures and aspirations, but her heart hampered a secret. Lola was deeply in love with a man named Femi, who was 31 and established in the world of imports. He was charming, suave, and carried himself with an air of authority that every woman in Ibadan found irresistible. Their romance, however, was fraught with inequalities that created an unsettling undercurrent between them. While Lola lived modestly, often relying on her parents' meager income to survive, Femi drove luxury cars that gleamed under the hot Nigerian sun, living in a large home in the upscale Jericho area. The wealth gap became a strain in their relationship. Lola felt the pressure of expectations, convinced that somehow she needed to prove her worth. After overhearing a conversation in which Femi casually mentioned a cash flow issue in his business, a lightning bolt of an idea struck her. With a mix of trepidation and excitement, she confided in her friend Kemi, who, although skeptical, was drawn in by Lola's fiery resolve. Kemi suggested a group of local miscreants she knew off the beaten path of the Ibadan nightlife, who were skilled at making situations volatile. In a world of rising crime rates, especially in vulnerable regions, these individuals were notorious for their reckless schemes. It took some convincing, but Kemi's reluctance melted away when Lola promised a cut of the spoils, ensuring they both could enjoy a life of luxury. As the plan unfolded on a sweltering Thursday afternoon, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. Lola and Kemi crafted a story and intense scenario where Lola would go missing after a fierce argument with Femi. They concocted a series of text messages that Kemi would send, painting a picture of anguish and betrayal. They both laughed at how gullible Femi would be, blissfully unaware of the dark rabbit hole Lola had led herself into. However, what started as a carefree adventure took a treacherous turn when the hired thugs turned out to be far more dangerous than they anticipated. On the day of the kidnapping, as Lola was driven away, she felt a strange chill creep into her bones. The realization that she had crossed a line began to gnaw at her. The thugs' demands to Femi quickly escalated with threats of violence to Lola, manipulating the situation beyond her control. What was meant to be a game of deception transformed into a nightmare. As Femi received the ominous messages and the associated ransom demand, panic coursed through him. He had always treated Lola with the utmost affection, believing in her every promise of ambition and success, and her sudden disappearance shattered him. Desperate, he pooled every resource he had, mobilizing connections from his import business. He contacted local police and private security, transforming the once lively Ibadan streets into a tense theater of dread, as authorities and civilians hunted for his missing girlfriend. Hours stretched into an eternity, during which Lola found herself trapped in a dilapidated building on the outskirts of town, tied and gagged, unable to comprehend how her playful scheme spiraled into a dire situation. The thugs, already wary of the heat around them from Femi's growing outreach, grew impatient, their sense of bravado morphing into fear. As midnight approached, the offenders were torn between fear of Femi's anger and their own desperation to escape law enforcement's grasp. Femi's relentless pursuit of Lola took a tragic turn when police finally closed in on the hideout. In a chaotic confrontation, gunfire erupted. The thugs, sensing their imminent capture, panicked. A single bullet fired into the dark echoed through the night, piercing through the air and hitting its unintended target, Lola. As the smoke began to clear, Femi, who had finally tracked them down, arrived just in time to see the chaos unfold. Horror twisted his features as he caught sight of Lola, barely conscious, on the floor. In those final moments when everything had fallen apart, Lola risked a laugh, knowing how absurdly wrong her plan had spiraled. "I just wanted to be worth something," she croaked, her voice fading as the light in her eyes dimmed. For Femi, those words ripped through him. The girl he loved had orchestrated this bizarre scheme out of love, desperation, and jealousy, a haunting mix that would forever haunt him. The tragedy of that night echoed through Apata and beyond, leaving a community grappling with shock as the tale developed into a grim reminder of the lengths individuals might go to in pursuit of affection and validation. Femi, burdened with grief, would walk the streets of Ibadan haunted by silence where laughter once rang out. Lola's story morphed into a legend, a cautionary tale of ambition lost and a twisted pursuit of love, forever etched in the annals of a city resilient yet broken. In a world where the line between desperation and delusion often blurs, Lola's tragic end is a haunting reminder of the lengths to which some will go in pursuit of financial gain or acceptance. The rising incidence of kidnapping in Nigeria are symptoms of a broader socio-economic malaise, one characterized by stark wealth disparities, rampant unemployment, and a pervasive culture of materialism. As Lola's story vividly illustrates, the pursuit of quick money can lead individuals down dark paths, often with devastating consequences. It serves as a wake-up call for society to address the underlying issues and create opportunities for the youth, so they do not feel compelled to resort to extreme measures for financial security. Ultimately, her story encourages us to value integrity over material wealth and to foster a community where support and understanding prevail, reminding everyone that the quest for riches should never come at the cost of one's humanity.